Mathias Safari Toyota won the Alphonso G. Newcomer Award for PoetryTrain.com in 2016, and he wrote, "My first collection, Mobuto's Naked Palace, won the Alphonso G. Newcomer Award, and I don't intend to try to win anything. The more I look at African Literature Awards or any other African competition, the more I see artists, if not artisans, trying to brand Africa instead of trying to brand themselves. The more I see literary judges, as if there is a yardstick for art, trying to promote a friend or a countryman. To be very blunt, the best teacher you can ever get for writing is in your heart. While the best masters, from Aristotle, Dickens to Conrad, are self-taught, an average writer in these parts of the world is trying to rebrand African literature the way he heard so and say it should be. We need to get the difference between writing and typing first, theorizing and gambling, thinking and drafting, speaking via art, and yapping through ink and paper. Beware, soul brother, we are now stuck. Too many poets and not enough poems. Too many creative writers and not enough fiction after the first generation writers." I spoke with Mathias on the phone the night the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. He said, "John, poetry is a non-commercial genre. If you want, let's develop a comedy show. The World Train series allow us to commentate on the global events. If it's poetry, the way it is, it's Quicksand. You will drive a jaguar from the comedy series. Once it's comedy, $1 million will follow. The world's poetry train will be hailed as an invention. You even don't need to be funny. Even a camcorder can do it. John, in that case, we kind of abandoned the poetry route. The Andy Red and Boet can stay, but if it's not focused on the poetry per se, then it's a dead end. So which route are we talking? With comic strips. You won't go for Hollywood, it will come for you. It's going to get off so big a show that you will fight to keep the people out. Conceive everything. Start with comic strips. Reorientate yourself. Funding is not. Talent is. Sweating is. Self-belief is. A camcorder is enough. and see how to introduce yourself with a funny accent. Johnny Italiano, Mexicano, Senor Johnny, etc., etc. With some hot social satire and jokes, you can even enter politics at a later stage. Just work on the idea and get the set done. Fuck the investors, camcorders are enough. You are a producer, please. It's time for flying. Protect your wings. Oh, okay, my dear producer, I wish it appears moving. A rickety bus can do. In between, anything to distract audiences can do. Let it look like Austin Powers. Those animations. Don't look for expertise. Experts will suck life off of everything. Spontaneous improvisation. The actors could need like 10 others sitting in the background. Get the script idea to be shot, and we see. I need to see what to add. How do we stimulate a bus to look like a train? Head scout the core, John. Long-time projects with stall personality crashes. The idea is being able to rehearse and let it be the group you can dominate. That's the most important. The right team will come along. Your train concept is solid. Keep fishing. Throw those back to the sea if they aren't worth it, Johnny.
Well, just for you, John. This is the original you've always wanted to hear.
Really? Train song.
She's up there.
Thank you, ladies. Have a good night.
Night, ladies. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, see ya.
Hey, wait.
What?
What was that?
I said bye, David.
Who are you?
I'm not telling you. You have to figure it out.
Got it. Original train
I've
song.
known him a long time.
Okay. Alright. Good night.
I need a little free time, and I'm planning to go far. I need to find a place for me and my guitar. So big train, won't you slow down? You find the empty cars. Big train, won't you let me sound sturdy grace? I wanna leave, so please take me down that interstate. I'm seeking out a new world, and won't leave it to fate. So big train, won't you let me sound sturdy grace? me and give me a good sight.
Fucking idiot. This is one and only the Pete Hamilton.
Thanks, man.
Mathias, Safari, Toyota won the Alphonso G. Newcomer Award from PoetryTrain.com in 2016. And he wrote, my first collection, Mobutu's Naked Palace, won the Alphonso Newcomer Award. And I don't intend to try to win anything. The more I look at African Literature Awards or any other African competition, the more I see artists, if not artisans, trying to brand Africa instead of trying to brand themselves. The more I see literary judges, as if there is a yardstick for art, trying to promote a friend or a countryman. To be very blunt, the best teacher you can ever get for writing is in your heart. While the best masters from Aristotle, Dickens, to Conrad are self-taught, an average writer in these parts of the world is trying to rebrand African literature the way he heard so and say it should be. We need to get the difference between writing and typing first, theorizing and gambling, thinking and drafting, speaking via art, and yapping through ink and paper. Beware, soul brother, we are now stuck. Too many poets and not enough poems. Too many creative writers and not enough fiction after the first generation writers. Jesting is out of order. Why are we stagnating when Europe is heading for the skies? Gone is the sensation of the 1970s and 80s when every university had a professor making his mark on a global scale. University presses product were selling all over Europe like hotcakes. Others who had no point to say, and causing literary debates from all corners. Every city from Malawi to Somali was represented. What the heavens struck African literature. Instead of becoming a giant, it's trending in a very big dwarf doctor. Very few academics in your circles can be traced via Google Scholar or ZZ sleeping books like What New and Out There. If you were to throw out PhD holders with 0 publications in 5 years, the universities would be empty. It's sprawling very many tiny mudfish instead of distinct whales. Is there any hope? Or African literature is now officially a bag of chaff without grain. Writers of the first generation used to theorize, best teacher of writing is always yourself. Creative writing courses are a joke. Best I have learned from are the sidelines, from senior poets I network with, mentors, and not lecturers. Mentors everything. A teacher is nothing, and make statements, very calculated artistic gambles and experiments. Ours is of poets who win awards before they can write a line of rhythm, of prose writers who publish novels without even an idea of plotting. Who taught Plato? Who taught Homer? Who taught Sambine? Who taught Tutola? Writing remains property of the Greeks, called the Muse, the bitchy female god of poetry. It totally refuses to be a science someone wants it to be. But then how are we going to advance? Via the literary festivals and awards? I am told thousands of dollars are for grabs in Nigeria for literary awards, but I'm yet to read more than a few gibberish from its recipients. High priest of literature keeps getting scarce, and this literary desert is enlarging into a literary pestilence. But the optimists insist it is a new wave. All over the continent, except Nigeria, of course. As for my Uganda, university professors have taken a niche for writing high school pamphlets. It's a shame, some of these lazy people dying on the same table. We need more groundbreakers. Is it conformism? It's pure jesting. Anything you post on Facebook wins likes. I think the ill tempers are rooted in the market and the market trends. The need to revert tradition, noting that since the turn of the 90s, the market and canon have conspired to kill emerging writers in the context of Africa. Does it explain why most of them have become ill-tempered? I'm not trying to defend outright flippancy, but to point out that the traditional criticism has been too generous with the African first-generation writers. Good art has a way of shining even in the most scathing attacks. Tastes and opinions change over time, some writers gaining more points as others lose out. Inflated egos, they have no place in art.